Hey, it's Sam, making this quick video to show you this upcoming placement that we have in the sky over the next week. Close to the next week, we're going to have the moon going into Virgo. This is being done on May 26th. I'm recording this, so 27th, you see the moon is going to go into Virgo. It's going to be very close to the North Node. 27th and the 28th, it continues. 29th, 30, 31, that's May 31. You see the moon has been hemmed here between Rahu and Saturn. And then June 1st, you see moon joins Saturn. Oops. June 2nd, it still joins Saturn, and it's in Scorpio. So I have this app I'm going to show you. First of all, you see on the ecliptic here, we have Virgo up here, Libra and Scorpio over here. You see Saturn and the Earth here. If I zoom up a little bit, you'll be able to see how, when you look at the moon, zoom in a little bit here, you see that the moon, at this point, the moon is just about going into Virgo. And then if we accelerate this a little bit, you'll see it goes Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. Slide around here, we'll see it's getting close to, well, that's Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, like right there. See Libra and Scorpio. Saturn is an early Scorpio, which is right in between these two. And you can see that recently, the moon was just in the sky. It was just joined. You know, when we had that nice Moon-Venus conjunction, it was like this, you know, like about right here, right? That's when we had the Moon-Venus conjunction, because if we zoom down, you see up in the sky, when we're looking at the moon, we were also looking at Venus, and then it continued, and then we were looking at Moon Jupiter, but then it continues, right? Oops. Then it continues. A little tricky to get this, a little bit of a lag. Then it continues. See, there's Cancer, and then Leo, right there, and then we swing around, and we're now in this place we are now, where it's joining Rahu, which is around right here, and then it's going to be in Libra, which is about right here. Then it's going to go into Scorpio, where it's joined Saturn, like about right there. So that looks this way. This is the, this is the end of it. But if we go back, right, we see it played out like this. Right, we had that Moon Jupiter conjunction, Moon Venus conjunction. That's the way it looks in the chart. Now it's about right here on Tuesday night. Then it goes in through here, like that. So this is a time, that hemming. We can't see the nodes on this, because the nodes on this on this app, the nodes would actually be like right, that's an outer planet right there. That's Uranus. Whoa. Okay. It would actually be like under here and up here. That's actually where the nodes are. Because the nodes exist, like, see, every month when we have the new moon, if we can look at this, look at the Earth and moon sort of like head on. Right? We'd make this larger. When we have a new moon or a full moon, like, we're moving up to a full moon, that's going to happen. Actually, we're going to have this full moon. It's going to occur. There's a little lag here. Otherwise, when you try to move this, hang on. When we have this, when we have this full moon, this upcoming full moon, it's going to be where the moon is the moon is joined Saturn. when we have the full moon. So the full moon is going to join Saturn at that time, but what's not happening is it's not being eclipsed because it's not in the same alignment in three-dimensional space. Now, it looks like this on the app, but in actuality, what's going to happen is that when we have this full moon, which will be about right here, you see we have it opposite Mercury, because, you know, Mercury is now in between, which looks like, whoop, this is that full moon that's going to happen. See, because the sun is here, Earth in the middle, then the moon, and then Saturn, which is opposite Mercury too. We see it lined up here. It's the same alignment. But if we were to go up here, the reason it's not an eclipse is because this is not actually right in the center of the disk. The moon is like down here, or up here, or up here. When we have the eclipse, see, because the nodes actually exist like this kind of thing along the ecliptic, where they're above or below the longitude of the ecliptic. Again, the ecliptic, you know, this app does a really good does a real good facsimile of showing you how this works, but it's actually not just this straight line. It's actually a band of several degrees up and down, above and below this center line. So this ecliptic is about 8.5 degrees above and below this center line. So when we have an eclipse, you know, the nodes actually are points above and below the ecliptic. This is called the ecliptic. And in fact, here's a representation of the nodes. You can see how it's kind of like one circle above and beyond another circle, ascending node, descending node. That's a good way to describe the ecliptic, is those concentric circles that maybe interlock but are a little bit off each other. So when we have here, you know, when we have these new moons and full moons are actually above and below this. The ecliptic is actually, the node is actually the exact point right in the middle of the ecliptic where the paths of these planets intersect. So when we had this full moon, let's say when we had the new moon in Virgo, let's swing this around, you'll see when we had the eclipse, which would have been the new moon in Virgo, which would have been, let's say the new moon in, when the new moon was in Aries, that's when we had the, where are we at here? Now we're at Pisces, so it was like around right here. This is when we had the eclipse. Line this up so it's about right like that. That's when we had the eclipse. So right now, this intersecting point is right here when we look at this diagram. So this point here, it's actually the descending node. This would be Aries in the sky right now, and this would be where Rahu is. Rahu is the ascending node. So this would be Virgo in the sky, and this would be, it's Pisces. It's not Aries. What am I talking about? The nodes are in Aries and, the nodes are in Pisces and Virgo, excuse me. So the descending node Ketu is in Pisces. The ascending node is in Virgo. So it would actually be, like I said before, go another month, when the new moon was here, that's when we had it. Because right now, the ascending node is, and here it is, March 20th, because that's where this is lined up now, right where K2 is. It's accurate with this. So that would be where K2 is, Pisces, and that would be where Virgo is. So as it goes around where we are now in this next full moon, it's going to go around Aries, Taurus. Now we're going to get, so we just had the new moon in Taurus. Now we're going to get the full moon in Scorpio, which should be probably right here. That's Gemini, so it's probably this one right here. If we swing this around, oops. Yeah, so if we now turn this around, we'll see that's in Taurus. That's in Scorpio, right? So that's that That's that full moon now in Scorpio. So there it is. So that's the full moon in Scorpio now, after the new moon in Taurus. But again, remember that the node is right here. Virgo. Actually, the north node is right here. Pisces. That's why Uranus is close to the north node now, right? If you follow the outer planets. And so Virgo, just flip the whole zodiac around. Virgo is where Rahu is. And so we're having the full moon here in Scorpio. So that's kind of how this looks. I love this app, and I love being able to use it rather than just showing my face. So this is what we're going to be dealing with until like June 1st. Or actually, like June 3rd. I'm sorry. Until June 3rd, we're going to be dealing with this moon going through Virgo and passing the north node, Libra, where it'll be hemmed, and then the full moon in Scorpio. So what happens when you get this hemming is there's this intensity as the moon is being squeezed between the north node and the pressure of Rahu and the ensuing pressure of Scorpio and Saturn. So these planets have been here for a while, so the sign of Libra has been hemmed for quite a while. So on the first couple days of this, on the 27th and the 28th, we're going to feel this moon Rahu, a lot of like imagined fears and worries, especially about things we tried to control, things we try to control that don't work. Wherever the sign of Virgo falls for you will be a place where you've been dealing with a certain amount of stress, so you can really feel that stress and imagined fear around that for those couple of days. There's also a great, possibility for, expanding that into something much deeper, but there's also the possibility of a lot of exaggerated perceptions and just kind of paranoia and things like that. Then on, get this hour a little bit better. So yeah, that'll be like on the 27th, the 28th, and into the 29th. Then yeah, on the 30th and 31st, primarily we'll experience that hemming. And, the sign of Libra is hemmed, which is about our relationships and our dealing with others and those things. And so that sign has been hemmed now for quite a while, since September of last year, or actually since November of last year when Saturn moved into Scorpio. So we'll feel that stress, and then on June 1st and June 2nd, the moon will be in Scorpio, where it's debilitated. It'll be a full moon. Debilitated full moon joins Saturn on June 1st is not so fun. So June 1st, a pretty heavy full moon after this hemming and everything like that. So, try to be good to yourself in the next few days to a week. And again, if you have heavy things on your mind, things that are burdening you, in particular as it relates to others, and maybe wanting to talk about things and being bottled up, it's good to maybe try to, try to do that and try to reach out and speak with others where maybe you have some difficulty and some charge. And it's been hard, especially since we've been dealing with this Mercury-Mars thing. The last, Mercury went retrograde over Mars as well on the 25th, 26th. And so, hopefully you've been able to work some of those things out while Mercury was going retrograde over Mars. Heavy stuff, I gotta say. Definitely some pretty heavy astrological weather right now, so hang in there. And I hope this model of the universe and of the sky is also helping you understand that a little better.